Hello. This is the first official installment of the Noah Project. And since I'm the only one here, we don't need that. We do have 3 people watching so far. So let's give folks a chance to pile in a little. 3, 5, 7, 9. Coming along. Nice to be with you. Good to be here this evening. The Noah Project. It's going to be an interesting. This is the first phase of the Noah Project. The first phase being simply to collect a group of videos, a library of videos of people's fish rooms, and try to do as much as possible an in-depth analysis of those fish rooms. Sunset Jen, hello. Grenwood, hi there. So we're looking for someone to come up tonight and show us their fish room and chat about it. Want to find out what you're doing, how you've done what you're doing, your failures and your successes, in order to be able to provide some hope and some inspiration for others just trying to start out. The basic principle, the basic concept, of course, is, hey, Fisher and House, nice to see you, is that without us, without hobbyists, countless animals will have already been lost, and countless more will be lost in the future. You know, there's a real serious issue here, because the general attitude of the general public about people who keep animals is that there somehow is something unhealthy about that. In point of fact, there's a piece of legislation that nobody's mentioned yet that's part of this Competes Act, not even the amendments to the Lacey Act. It's something different. It's called the Wildlife Survey. And what it does is define, hey, Mermaids Chorus, nice to see you. It defines any animal taken out of the wild as trafficked wildlife. And they connect it with crime. It's considered criminal. They're saying in the bill, and again, this is part of the Competes Act, the House bill that was already approved. It's a wildlife survey. That the purpose of it is to survey the kinds of animals that are being trafficked and the way in which money is plays into it. So they're treating animals that come out of little biotopes in South America, little tiny tetras, as trafficked wildlife, a part of a criminal cabal. That's the way it's defined. We got a long ways to go if we're going to overcome this. Carter Bing, hello. Nice to see you. Let's see, let me get my YouTube page over here so I can see better. Two baby bullheads. Neat. You're getting some big tanks coming on, Fish Friends. That's good. Good for you. The pervasive attitude about anyone who keeps wildlife, who keeps animals of any kind, is that there's something wrong with this. There's something unhealthy about it. There's something that is that is breaking down and disturbing the natural environment. As though we need to leave the natural environment alone so that it can be natural. So the enemies of the natural environment are people going out catching neons. I mean, really, that's the way this piece of legislation is defining wildlife. So anyone who traffics in wildlife is somehow a part of a criminal organization or is engaged in criminal activity, destructive activity, activity bent on destroying wildlife. Now, as part of the groups of people they're planning to survey, those groups include so-called wildlife protectors or wildlife advocates. Nothing about animal husbandry, nothing about protecting wildlife in personal biotopes, personal collections. Nothing at all about any of that. Do you understand what I'm saying here? The pervasive attitude is anybody who keeps fish or insects or reptiles is somehow doing a disservice to nature, to wildlife. You and I know that quite the opposite is true. Wildlife is being destroyed from all sides, and certainly not by those protected little regions spread around the world where native people are collecting, sustainably collecting a harvest of native species in order to get them into the hands of hobbyists, such as to protect them. There are currently hundreds of animals in captivity right now. Of the 20,000 animals in captivity, species, here in the United States, of the 20,000, there are hundreds that no longer exist in nature. They no longer exist in the wild. They are no longer considered wildlife. They are extinct in the wild. Our efforts are to maintain them and sustain them until such time as they can be reestablished in a native environment that will be healthy enough to maintain them. Chance McCormick. Hello, Chance. Nice to see you. Now, if there's anyone who would like to come up tonight, good one, Chance. We'll get into this and show us their fish room. This needs to be a developed fish room, not something that's brand new. I know there are people who are doing some things they're very excited about, but for our purposes here, we want to be able to share the experience of people who have been through the mill a little bit, who have spent a few years doing what they're doing and learned a few of the tips and tricks in being able to sustain their system. Atkins Nature Aquariums. Hello, Atkins. Nice to see you. Chance, yes, tips on getting ramps to pair off and breed. My suggestion is, number one, I do have a video on this, and it's a rather good one. Somebody can find that and maybe post the link for that. They need to be warm, 83, 82, 85 degrees, in that range. Closer to 85 than 82. The pH is not particularly important. They can easily tolerate a neutral environment. They'll go from acid to alkaline. That's not a major issue. In the uh, in the Amazon, where they're from, the water varies between 6.0 and 8.0. So it goes from acid to alkaline throughout the year and back again. So pH is not real critical. Temperature is. Temperature is absolutely critical. Now, what I recommend is you put a pair, a male and a female, just one pair, in a 10-gallon tank. It can be a 20-gallon tank, that's fine. But they're better off left as a pair in a tank by themselves with nothing else in there. That way they're not going to be disturbed. Um, if you don't know how to tell them apart, it's really quite simple. The female has red on her belly. The male does not. And the black dot that's in the middle of the body, the female has blue stars in and around that black dot. The male does not. The males are pure black. So they're pretty easy to sex, pretty easy to tell apart. Go by the red belly and go by the stars on the night, the stars in the night sky, the stars, the blue spots on the black spot. Feed live food if at all you can. You want to get the female beefed up and full of eggs. Blackworms are terrific food. Daphne are wonderful. Mosquito larvae are perfect. Um, any of the larger worms, not banana worms or microworms, they're really too small at this stage, but you do want to have them for the fry when they come along. Thank you, Atkins, very much for that link. They will begin cleaning a spot. What you want to do is find a little piece of tile or a little rock, maybe 2 inches in diameter, 3 inches tops, and put it in a corner in the tank. They feel more secure in a corner. Put it right up in that corner, and they'll find it and they'll begin cleaning it. Once they start cleaning it, they're ready to go, and they're going to go pretty quickly. So once it begins to get cleaned, then keep an eye on them, and you'll find that the tube for the female will drop down, and the male's breeding tube will as well. And they'll begin laying eggs. They'll lay a patch of eggs, and then they will both care for those eggs. They'll keep swishing over them to keep them clean. They'll pick out the dead ones. They'll work one at a time, one guarding and one cleaning until they hatch. Once they hatch, they'll move them to a little tiny spot where they'll just be wrigglers. Now it takes roughly 3 days for the eggs to hatch. It takes another 3 days for the babies to become free swimming. So that's 6 days. On the 7th day, the babies are going to be up and swimming around. At that point, it is absolutely critical to either take out the parents or take out the babies. If you don't, they're going to disappear by the 8th day. And then they'll spawn again a week later. So take the parents out or take the babies out. An easy way to get the babies out is simply to siphon them into a jar. And then you can float the jar, if it's like a pickle jar, float it in the tank with a little sponge filter in it, just a small one, and begin feeding them. Microworm, banana worm. You can feed golden pearls. They'll do real well with the worms. You can feed freshly hatched brine shrimp. They can take those. For the first day or two, microworm or banana worm are going to be the best bet because they're pretty tiny little guys, but they grow quickly. So that by day 3, you can feed brine shrimp, freshly hatched brine shrimp. And then you're good to go. Just keep it going, keep it clean. Um, you can dump the water out and refill it from the tank as a way of doing. You use a baster to get any waste that's sitting on the bottom, and then just kind of pour it out and refill it, being careful not to dump them in. And that'll work pretty well. So good luck with it. Um, Come on over to, we've got a couple of people working on them right now on Discord. So it'll be a chance to share your experience with some other people who are trying to get rams going as well on their Discord channel, which is in the link below. Maybe somebody could post that. Actually, I could do that. I think I can do that pretty easily. Let me get over there. This is our Discord link, our Discord server, which I guess is going to come up. Come on, here we go. There we are. Let's see. Invite people. Copy. And paste. Hey here, Fishy. There's the Discord link. So you can go over there and share what you're doing with your rams, with some other people who are trying to get rams going as well. Jimmy P, nice to see you. Good to have you here. Let's see. Atkins Nature Aquariums. What do you think about black angels with extra ventral fins? I have 2 that are breeding. Well, it's a morph. Who knows? You might get something really fancy going. Get like 6 ventral fins, and then breed them for diaphanous finnage in between the spines, considering them spines. So make it a fish with a whole new fin. Who knows? They probably, some of the young will breed with those extra ventral fins. So you'll have some with 3 or 4 fins. That'd be interesting. Better time for my fish. Lights on an hour, but I'm crook as a dog. After care for 6 family, Sunset Chen. Oh dear. Well, I'm going to do this Monday and Wednesday evenings. So, plan ahead a little bit. Right now, I'm not setting up schedules. I'm just leaving it open because I want to, kind of get into this a little bit and get people feeling comfortable with it, and kind of build it and see where we go. But the whole idea is to get folks coming up and talking about what they're doing in their fish room. Let's see. 3 fins and 4 fins. Pretty cool looking. Drop a picture over in Discord. That sounds really interesting, Atkins. Love to see that. Let's see. Scott Stankovich. Hello, Scott Carter Bing. Hello, hello. Shelby is here. Hey, Shelby, nice to see you. Oh, tomorrow night, by the way, is the Venice Aquarium Society. We're going to be live streaming that from 7:30 till about 10 o'clock. We'll do the dinner, the program, and the auction. And you will be able to participate in the auction. It actually worked out pretty well last month. We had 4 people buy some things online at auction. Atkins can come up. Great. Okay, let's do that. I've got the link at the top. If you want to click on the link, I'll be happy to bring you up, Atkins. That'd be very nice. A mini minefield. Scott's talking about their geophagus and blue acara that are digging holes, I guess. Jimmy P. Hello, Jimmy P. Did you find the link? Have I got the link? I did post it, I think. Yeah, the link is at the top. It's pinned to the top of the chat. It's StreamYard.com. Just click on that and it'll follow you over. Chance McCormick, we did your Rams. Yeah, make sure you get over onto Discord and talk about that because we're going to have a lot of Rams here pretty soon. I just got a few today. A fish house. Well, do come up, Atkins. Be delighted to have you. Friday, Shelby and I will be holding forth on our Q&A, Friday evening Q&A, Sunset Jen. Says, yay, Atkins. We're waiting for Atkins to come up. And then Sunday evening, Mary Paige and I will be here. And that's kind of a family gathering, sort of a casual chat format. There he is.
Hey, Father Fish.
Very good. Let me put my ears on so I can hear you. Hi there.
Hey, how's it going?
Good. How are you?
Doing pretty good.
See you. So tell us a little bit about what you're doing.
So I do a lot of natural tanks. Not all of them look like this, but all of them have plants in them, except for the saltwater tank. That is a 10-gallon reef tank with soft corals. Super simple, super easy.
Nice. How many tanks have you got?
22.
22. That's pretty good. That's almost twice as many as I have. I got cut down from 400 to 10.
I remember that fish store was insane. The amount of tanks you had in there.
Were you ever at the store?
I was never able to go to the store. I'm on the West Coast in Oregon.
Oh, okay. Okay. So what kind of fish do you have, Atkins?
A lot of cichlids, some cyprinids, cherisons, but mostly South American cichlids, Central American cichlids.
So you got some big stuff.
Not a whole lot of big stuff. I would say my biggest cichlid is a Severum. Now, he's the least plant-friendly fish that I have, but I try.
A Severum? Yeah.
Yep. But I also have festivums. I've got blue acara, zebra acara. I've got epistogrammas, angelfish, the angelfish with black ventral fins.
Right.
Ventral fins.
How long have you been keeping fish?
Around 3 years.
3 years? That's good.
I've had tanks before, but never this involved.
You never got serious about it, huh?
No.
And now you're serious about it. 20 tanks, that's pretty serious. That's pretty substantial. Do you have breeding populations yet?
I have had breeding populations. Right now, my work schedule is pretty tough to do a lot of breeding, to be on with feeding baby brine shrimp all the time.
Right.
But
What kind of work do you do, Atkins?
I work at a food factory, nut roaster.
Really?
Yeah,
Wow, cool.
I roast almonds and cashews.
Roast almonds and cashews. So what's the step up to that? Coffee?
Uh, Pretty much. Well, there's like, I'm trying to get to like the warehouse position
Uh,
and be on the forklift all day.
Now, is your first name, what's your first name?
Ian,
I'm sorry?
Ian, IAN.
Ian.
Yeah,
IAN. What do you prefer to be called?
Ian Atkins. It's all fine with me.
It's all hard. Yeah, I'm kind of the same way. Nice. So, would you like to show us some of your tanks? Can you do
Yeah.
that?
Um, my phone's at 13%, but I can show you a couple of them real quick on here.
Okay.
Ones that are down here.
So you got tanks all over the house, do you?
I've got
What?
3 upstairs, 7 in my bedroom, and 3, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 in this little closet over here.
Huh. So you're in a basement room right now?
Yep, this is my
Okay.
basement.
Okay. So you're down there in down there with the laundry.
Yep.
Right. Great.
This used to be a sewing room, but it's being converted to a fish room.
Oh, nice. You married?
Not married, but I do have a girlfriend.
Live in?
That we've been together for like 4.5 years, almost 5
Oh,
years.
nice. Nice. Any kiddos?
No kids.
Not
I do
yet?
have roommates that have kids, though.
So was she the seamstress?
No, my grandma was the seamstress.
Oh, really? So this is a family house.
Yeah, this is a family house. I've been here for like 10 years.
Oh, nice. Well, show us some tanks.
All right, so I'll show you this one first. This is a 20-gallon high. Used to be CO2 injected, but I took it off. Deep.
What is that? What is that long, thin plant? Right there. What is that plant? I've got some of those.
That is Crinum calamistratum.
Crinum. Okay.
It's a really cool plant. African
Yes, it
plant.
is. I think I do. I've got it. I've got at least one. Is that a ram? That's a ram.
Yeah,
That's
that's
a-
my little short body ram. He
Yeah.
was $1 at the fish auction for my
Oh,
club.
really?
So
Wow.
I named him Buck.
Is that a male or a female?
Not really sure yet. He's really small still.
Can't tell.
But,
Yeah.
and the electric blues are really hard to tell.
Guppies are nice.
Yeah, those are a line that I've been working on since my girlfriend started, and we started at the same time. We
Oh,
got
you've
into
got-
this hobby
oh.
together. There's all sorts of fish in here.
Yeah, I'm seeing the celestial pearls.
Yeah, the celestial.
I just got some in today that came in bad.
Oh, I
So
got
it was-
mine from a local breeder, 2 different sources.
Oh, nice.
One of them was local. The other one
Is that a rice fish?
not a rice fish. There's a glow light danio and
The
Bonneville
blue-
tetra.
The blue eye. What's the blue eye?
Oh, that's an emerald eye rasbora.
Oh, really? Pretty
Yeah.
fish.
And they're dirt cheap. They're like $1.50 a piece.
Look at the blue on it. That's really nice. I haven't seen that before. Yeah, that guppy is. I had that strain of guppies when I was in college in the 1960s, and it put me through graduate school.
Yeah, we sold a ton. We don't really sell a lot of fish anymore, but I kept them because I don't really want to see them go. They're a really cool line.
Yeah, really, it's one of the oldest stable lines of guppies. Pretty, pretty.
I crossed them too. These are a cross between a female Endler and a
Oh,
male.
really?
koi tuxedo. It was a yellow tiger endler.
Wow.
So you can see a little bit. There's some
In the
yellow.
tail, yeah. It's a nice females.
Yeah, females are really good. I like the
Really
black
nice
on 'em.
females. Yeah. What do you feed your fish, Atkins?
I feed them everything. Black worms, uh, brine shrimp, flake, pellet, wafers, a lot of frozen food. My panda cories are breeding in here. There's a baby. He might pop out.
I really like that little river gravel. I think it's so showy.
Oh yeah, this is the greatest thing about it. Home Depot Quickcrete all-purpose sand. 20
And
pound
it's that,
bag is like $7.
oh, right. But that's not what you have on top.
Yeah,
Really?
it's that variable. It has a really nice
Oh, no
variety from
kidding.
fine to like nice little pebbles.
Wow, that's really cool. So
And
you've
it's
got, do you have a dirt layer? Explain your layers there.
so it's a bunch of old aquarium substrates. No dirt.
Okay.
I'm still skeptical on putting dirt in my tank,
Don't be.
but
Don't
I
be.
am down with the deep substrate. I
Nice.
think the substrate does do a lot.
You bet. So long as you cap it, it's fine. And don't make it real deep, like 1 inch max dirt.
Yeah.
But the reality is, after the tank's been set up a year, if it's just straight sand, it develops a dirt layer because all of that detritus precipitates down into it and builds up, and you wind up with the same thing.
And this tank's about 2 years old.
Is that right? The plants look wonderful.
Yeah.
What's the little tiny one there on the bottom? What's that?
That is Ranunculus innuendatus. It's
That's
kind of looks like water sprite, but it's a carpeting plant. And when I had the
wow.
CO2, it was like carpeting pretty good, but
Huh.
it's a CO2 hog.
Nice. Nice.
And then Hydrocotyle verticulata, that's that kind of toadstool
Right.
circular plant. Crypnuri rosen maiden.
Beautiful crypts. What's that one? Do you know?
Yeah, that's Nurii rosen maiden from
That's
Bentley
really
Pasco.
pretty.
Bentley Pasco.
Huh. Nice. Nice.
Some Bucephalandras. This the marbled plant is Piptostophia radili. It's a epiphyte plant similar to Anubias.
Right. And that's Bucephalandra below it.
Yeah,
Yeah, I see.
different species.
Uh-huh. Gorgeous.
And then my Aponigeton is throwing babies. The
Oh,
big muddy
right.
plant back there. And then I plucked that one off and I planted it.
Oh, cool.
That's gonna be a hap that I can bring into the club for the
Now,
Puerto
growing
Rico
babies,
trip.
how? Is the bulb dividing?
No, it's sending up a stem. It's sending another one.
So a flower. It's flowering.
It's not flowering though. That's the funny thing. It's got this little stem and then a bulb and then it's got another plant that's coming.
Oh, really?
I don't know.
Huh. Nice.
Ah.
What species is it? Do you know?
I do not. I got it as a dry bulb from a fish
Uh-huh.
store with no label.
I've not had that happen, so I'm not familiar with that. Corey's look happy.
And then over here, that's part of the fish room. Sorry for the mess. Oh,
Okay.
it's all blurry. But I'll get on my phone and show you.
That's a stunning tank, Atkins.
Thank you. It's About 2 years in the making. It used to have a full carpet of pearlweed, and it
Oh,
damn near, took over the tank.
right. What size tank is it?
It's a 20-gallon high.
Really? Wow.
It,
Yeah, you got a lot of activity in there for that small a tank.
I yeah, I tend to overstock my tanks, but I do a lot of water changes. I do them weekly,
How much do you change?
around 20%.
And what are your parameters?
So out the tap, 6.8 pH, 0 GH, and 0 KH. So I have to
Really?
use a GH booster. Yeah, it's like 11 TDS out of the tap sometimes.
Holy cow. So are you doing additives?
Yeah, I
What do
have
you
to.
use?
I use a GH booster. I
And
can
that
get
gets it.
the. I can get the bag.
What's it bring it up to? Have you measured it?
I just checked the TDS. So unprofessional. I'm sorry about that.
It's okay. We lost you, by the way.
Yeah, I turned the camera off because it was
Okay.
blurring out.
Okay. Yeah, tank really is loaded, isn't it, Scott? That's amazing.
It's magnesium sulfate. That's what I use to bring up the GH.
Magnesium sulfate. That's interesting. Huh.
But I also have a Lake Tanganyika tank with shell dwellers. So I
Okay.
use the Seachem Lake Tanganyika salts,
Okay.
and I get that GH to like 11,
And what's your pH in there with the
8,
Africans? 8.
8.8
How do you get it up there?
with the salts.
Oh, okay.
And there's a crushed coral substrate.
Right. What kind of Africans do you have?
Um, Neolamprologus
Multifunction, so
multifasciatus.
shell dwellers.
Yeah, little colony
Tanganyikas.
of them.
Yeah, nice.
All right, I'm gonna come up here on my phone.
Okay. Scott says that's a nice crypt. It really is. That's a beautiful crypt.
All right.
Okay. He's got his sound off on both and camera off on both, so I guess he's trying to figure out which one to use. We'll see if we get a chance to look at the. Oh, all right. What is that?
This is Enigmatochromis leucanusi. It is a little dwarf cichlid from West Africa.
Right. It's related to the crebensis.
Yeah, it used to be called Pelvicochromis, but it got
Right.
reclassed.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now it's its
That
own little genus.
a rock crebensis. Pretty fish.
Yeah, the female's hiding out.
So
Hopefully
what
that
size
means
tank is this now?
a 20-gallon long.
Okay. That's one of my favorite size tanks. We got some caves. The black tetra. Black neon, is that what that's called? Oh, look at the butterfly. Oh, how nice. What do you feed the butterfly?
Freeze-dried krill and floating pellets.
Uh-huh.
He's not very picky.
How long have you had him?
Since last year around June.
Really? About 9 months, 10 months. Nice.
That's the only little hole. That's the feeding hole.
Huh. Yeah, they are jumpers. Such a cool fish. Now, what was that just came up there? What is that? It looks like a Stiphodon.
It's not part of the Stiphodon genus. It's Cephalosporus, but common name snakeskin goby.
Okay.
That's their full size. Pretty large.
Nice.
But they're kind of similar. They're an algae biofilm grazer.
Right. Where do you get your fish?
Either from the Wet Spot, my local fish store, or local breeders.
Okay.
I
Is that,
also have gotten them shipped in before, but I'm very particular on who I get it shipped in from.
right, right. What's the temperature in that tank?
Around 75.
Really, that's kind of cool.
Yeah, these.
A little cool, yeah. So it's a room temperature. Do you not have a heater in it?
No, there's a heater in it. This room, since it's in the basement and it's not the best, so it kind of sits around 70.
Oh, okay. Yeah, a bunch of different species in there too. Now, what are we looking at here? What is? Oh, that's the shell dweller. There they
Yeah.
are. Wendy wanted to see these. That's great. There you go, Wendy.
You might see some babies in there.
Really? Nice. What's the temperature in that tank?
78.
Okay. And what do you feed?
These guys get flake food, small pellets. They really like what are they called? Golden pearls.
Is that a baby? That's a female. Or a little male.
Oh, their little baby scooted off.
Oh, yeah, I see them. Right on top of the shell. Another one just started into the shell. Very cool.
I got a Nubius and Vallisneria in here. Hornwort, pothos growing out the top.
Uh-huh.
There is a fake plant in there.
An acris.
Some moss. But the Anubias is doing really good.
It certainly is. It's just jumping right up, isn't it?
And it's super low light, just, a little
Yeah, yeah,
LED
yeah.
picture.
Is that a bow front?
Yeah. So it's kind of a little weird.
Uh-huh. That's very nice. So what are the water parameters in there?
Very high pH, around 8.8.
Wow.
High pH, high KH, very high TDS, like 300 to 400.
And what do you do to get it up there?
I'll show you. This right here. This is the Tanganyika buffer.
Oh, nice.
It'll buffer it up higher, but I
Wow.
don't keep them that high. And yeah,
Wow. Cool.
Tanganyika
9.0 to
buffer.
9.4. So you've got it up over 6, you said. I mean, over 8. Like
Yeah.
8.6. Wow.
And then I've got the complete opposite. These guys sitting around 6.0 or below. My test kit doesn't go below 6.
Uh-huh. Are they
Here.
convicts?
Nope, these are Zebra Acara F1s.
Okay.
Ivanacara adoceta.
Very nice.
I've had them spawn 4 or 5 times, but haven't been able to get the eggs
Catch.
to be viable.
Do they eat their eggs?
They either ate them or they fungus up.
Nice looking pair of fish. Are they by themselves?
Yeah, they've got a couple plecos in here, but that's it.
Yeah.
They decided they didn't want any take mates after a while.
I'm sure of it. Yeah. Cichlids are like that, particularly the more aggressive ones. That's like rams. We were talking about rams earlier. To get them to spawn, you really need to have them by themselves. What are we looking at?
These are tequila Gideons,
Goody eye.
and they just started having babies. I saw one in there when I was
Oh,
doing one.
nice.
There's some mystery snails in here, and
So you've got some cares fish, don't you?
yeah, I've got a couple. The Enigmatochromis lucanusi, those little West African cichlids, are a Caris fish.
Okay.
These are Caris. My
Those are.
Bosemani
Yeah.
rainbow fish are Caris fish. Those are upstairs. We've got cherry barbs. Those are Caris fish, but we don't have any males. We need to find some males.
Cherry barbs.
But we've got a local breeder that's got some males, so that's what I like to hear.
Right. Right. Yeah, shouldn't have had any trouble getting. Talk a little bit about the CARES program. How'd you get involved and what are you doing with them?
So I'm not very much involved with the program, but I am very much involved with what they stand for.
Yes.
Got the 5% warning. So if I cut out, I'll jump back on the computer. But I think
Okay.
we can all dedicate a couple tanks to some Caris fish
Absolutely.
and just kind of let them do their thing.
Yep.
Like these guys got no other tank mates to worry about.
That's another good example of a fish that is virtually extinct in the wild.
And yeah, I see them. And the cool thing is, they're not very rare. A lot of people are starting to breed them, and
That's
they're
right.
becoming more
That's
available.
right. Yeah. Oh,
And then
here
these
they
guys,
are. Now, you said they're spawning?
yeah, I've had 2 spawns from them, but they
Oh,
ate them 8 times.
I see
So next
this.
one, I'm
The
pulling them.
split ventrals. Yeah.
This guy's got 3. That's the male.
Pretty fish. They're still
And
young, too.
yeah, and I know all the angelfish police. They're in a 10-gallon. I got a 55. I'm getting them for them. Oh, I already got it. I just got to reseal it.
It's really perfect for them. I
The
have,
55.
we've got a couple of angel breeders in our club, and they do a lot of 10s and 20s. A
Yeah.
lot of 5s too. They raise most of their fry in 5-gallon tanks
Well,
until
I'm
they get
hoping
up to, until
I
they
want to
start
raise
to,
the fry in here, and then have the parents in the 55.
right,
And
nice,
then down here are my Medaka rice fish. No filter, just plants,
cool.
you know. And then in here are some guppy fry and pleco fry. A lot of plants.
Did you spawn the plecos?
Yeah. They're just albino and regular bristlenose.
Nice. Is
Kind
that
of
a,
a staple around here.
is that a puffer?
These are my Amazon puffers. This is the puffer tank.
Oh, cool.
There's a couple plecos in here and
And what are
Synodontus.
the parameters in that tank?
Very similar to the Zebra Acara. Low pH, low TDS.
They look real healthy. What do you feed the puffers?
Freeze-dried krill, snails, brine shrimp, mysis shrimp, frozen krill, jumbo, and the medium size.
They're happy looking fish.
They are cute little guys. I love them.
They really are. Yeah.
And then my girlfriend's got her own fish room with a bunch of swordtails, and she was breeding epistogrammas, but they passed. But one fry in the tank lived.
Really. Huh.
Yeah, and we got one fry still, which is cool. But I'm gonna plug my phone in before it decides to kick me off here.
You bet. Yeah. Well, thank you, Atkins. This is wonderful. I really appreciate what you're doing. We'll get you back on and look at some of the other tanks another time. That's a great collection. And it's a good example of stable tanks that are well balanced, healthy, that the fish can survive in long term. That's really impressive.
Thank you. That's kind
It,
of what I try to do is create a long-term tank for 'em.
yeah, well, you're doing a good job. That's very, very impressive. Proud of you.
And I want more tanks. But I need to get a central air system in first before I start setting up more racks. 'Cause, I think that's needed at this point.
To be for temperature control, you mean?
No, for supplying air to sponge filters.
Oh,
Central air
you mean
pump.
an air system? Yeah, a pump.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've got a couple of them here um, that I acquired. Contact me offline. We'll talk. Maybe I got something I could send you. It probably cost a fortune to ship it, but I don't know.
It's probably better than trying to buy one from Gemco. Those are expensive right now.
Yeah, I've got one I paid 160 for, I think, online. That was the biggest one they had, but I've got a couple of smaller ones.
Yeah, I don't need nothing huge.
I do have a couple. Maybe I can help you out with that. See what I think I've got 3 or 4 actually, and I'm not using any of them. What I'm using is these little guys.
Hmm.
Just the four bangers because I've only got a few tanks. Well, that was great. Thank you. We're at 10 o'clock just about. So we have filled in our Luthmore. Hello, Luthmore.
And I'm just getting started with salt water.
So what do you've got some coral, you said, some softies.
Yeah. Some
Can you do
LPS.
any, are you near the ocean?
Not really. I'm a couple hours away by drive, but
See, you could do a special trip and do some collecting. The thing that works out really well is inverts and macroalgae. And those you can collect. So if you can, make a trip, uh, do like a weekend trip or something, where
the
you
only
can,
thing is in the Northwest it's not very warm, and my saltwater tank is very tropical, so I don't know if they would transition well.
the
So I'd probably
plants
have to
would,
do.
yeah, the
Uh,
plants probably would, and the inverts probably would. You can certainly try it. Um, Macroalgae are wonderful.
oh yeah, there. I had a whole bunch in the tank, and then I added one emerald crab,
Oh
and
no,
it's all gone. And then once all of it was gone, he started going after my zoas.
really? An emerald?
Hmm.
Huh?
So
They're
I
not supposed to do that.
so I took him, I put him in a little cup, and I said, "Bye, you're going to somebody else."
Really?
Hmm.
Breaking all the rules. Can't have that.
He took out my purple people eaters. I watched him do it.
Well, crabs is crabs. I mean, that's the nature of crabs.
I've got a pistol shrimp in there, and he leaves. At first, when I've got the zoas, he would kind of go up and pinch them
Yeah.
just to kind of see what they are, but now he leaves them alone.
Well, that's an algae eater. He's not going to bother much. So, and algae and detritus, you know.
And I'm doing, got a 40-gallon breeder. That's going to be my upgrade from the 10-gallon reef.
Nice.
And I'm going to do a drilled sump system, protein
Cool.
skimmer.
Cool. Yeah, I like sumps with salt water.
Yeah, I think it's going to be fun because I've never really gone into the realm of sumps, and since I'm kind of getting into saltwater pretty hard, I might as well do it.
You'll enjoy it. It works out real well. And the deep substrate's really the key to making a sump work. You don't
And
need filtration.
I love that in my 10-gallon because I put about an inch of coarse aragonite gravel, and then I put a whole bag of the fine sand on top. So it had about a 2.5 inch
Nice.
substrate. And all the saltwater people on the internet tell me I'm crazy.
Well, except the ones who know what they're doing.
Well, I try to keep things natural, easy,
Right.
simple. And I think in the 40-gallon, I'm still going to apply that deep substrate because that whole time I've had the 10-gallon for over a year now. I've never touched the substrate with a vacuum.
Yep. Yep. You really don't need to. And if it gets to the point where you've got detritus mulm sitting on it, just add a little more sand. Because all it really means is that the sand is not deep enough for the detritus to flow through it. It's backed up. So
Yeah.
if you add just another half inch of sand, it's usually enough to get the system cranking and overcome that stuff sitting on the top. Wonderful. Well, we're at 10 o'clock. Thank you so much, Atkins. I
Yeah, no
really
problem.
appreciate you coming up. This has been our first effort at doing the NOAA project. So we need to get some kind of little designation and get you out a NOAA certificate. So I'll put
Yeah,
something together. That'll be fun.
that'll be awesome.
You bet. Thank you so very much.
No, thank you, Father Fish. It's always a pleasure getting able to chat with you.
You bet.
I'm gonna get
Take
off
care.
here.
Bye for now. Very nice. Well, thank you very much, Atkins. That was terrific. So, NOAA, the NOAA project. saving endangered species. It's really what we're all about. And you saw exactly what we're talking about. Atkins is doing it. He's a young man who's put together, following some basic concepts. He's been able to create really amazing tanks. They are delightful, and I'm thrilled we had a chance to meet him and look at some of his tanks and talk a little bit about what he's doing. So we'll see you tomorrow night um, with the Venice Aquarium Society. And then I'll be back here on Friday with Shelby. Be back on Sunday with Mary Paige. And then next Monday and Wednesday, we'll be back doing another NOAA project. If you have a group of tanks you'd like to come up and show off, we're very happy to do that. We do want to try to get people who've been at it for a while, who've got a handle on what they're doing, and have got kind of gotten down the line a bit. But I know there are people who have put together amazing projects that have only been at it for a year or so, and we certainly want to be able to welcome them as well. So thank you all. Delighted to be with you. Let's see if I can play this music again. There we are.